when we talk about things going wrong, as in that flow chart, or mistakes happening, stuff happens. There is no pause button. There is no way to rewind. There is no magic wand that can bring you back in time. It just happened. Move on.
Yes.
Time goes in a linear fashion as far as our present sort of life on Earth as we know it, although there might be some metaphysics going on that I cannot, that I shouldn't talk about, but because I don't know anything about it. But from my perspective, when I'm training, it's linear, okay? It happened, it's gone, I cannot change it, I cannot rewind. The only thing I can do is to keep going, focus ahead, keep working.
It's also the reason that if we just spent like 20 minutes talking about chop chop, if we're going to stay in the realm of chop chop, then focus ahead, keep working. It's also the point that if we are going to claim that we are positive reinforcement trainers, then our main business is getting our learner back on track for the next reinforcer, because that's where the information is and nowhere else.
I think there are some issues with us positive reinforcement trainers. Sometimes it's like we're trying to work with positive reinforcement and we're really thinking we do that. But then when mistakes happen, if I feel like I need to give my learner information about that will not lead to reinforcement, then I'm trying to build my behavior from information about what was wrong. And then I'm not really trusting my reinforcers. So if I have if I don't have trust issues, if I believe that my reinforcers will build behavior, then the only thing I need to do, thing I need to worry about is setting up for success, making sure my learner, through the desired behavior, contacts reinforcement. I don't have to worry so much. I don't have to worry at all about those undesired behavior. I can fix it, as Steve Abel from Shed Aquarium would say, we fix it at the front end of the elephant. Instead of pushing the elephant from behind, lead it from the front.
Just sounds easier.
Set it up so that we get the desired behavior so that we can reinforce it. That's where the big fixing happens.
Okay.
Passion talking.
Talking. We're still on the subject of keeping going and what to do when mistakes happen. One of our pet things is that when you talk about a mistake happening in training, you have to make the decision. Are we talking about now, in the second instance that the mistake happened, or are we talking about for next time?
This is one of those things that mess up when you have Facebook discussions. And somebody says, well, what should I do if I am working on my dog staying as I open the door and the dog bounces up and rushes through the door? What should I do? And if the answer is, sometimes somebody will say, well, you should set it up differently so that doesn't happen. That is talking about next time. If the person wants to have some advice on what should I do the second when it happens, then there is a different piece of advice.
So what you do in the now, as Chirag Patel would say, be in the now. What you do now will be a consequence of the mistake behavior. And as we said before, we really don't want to spend time there, but we have to realize that that's an antecedent for the immediately following behaviors. So we need to just not add insult to injury. And every time we kind of mix up now and the next time, we are going to be adding insult to injury.
So whatever we do, the moment a mistake happens, should set the learner up for success in the moments to come. So looking at right after the mistake happens, how can the learner get back on a good track?
So looking at the video that we showed before with Scout and the start line that she broke, me producing the toy and transporting her to a new starting point after she broke the second time, the fact that her getting a tug toy was a consequence of the mistake behavior, as the blue bubble says, we don't worry much about this because I wanted her to get to a new starting point where she could access reinforcement for the correct behavior. It's not like I'm going to rehearse that a million times, but I'm just trying to keep going, getting ahead.
And it's also